Direct from Foxborough, Massachusetts, the gem of Norfolk County, and taped at the studios of Foxborough Cable Access. It's Foxborough Central. And here's your host, Bob Hickey.
I am Bob Hickey. I am your host. Thank you so much for taking the time to join with me and my guests as we talk about the people, events, and organizations that make Foxborough the gem of Norfolk County. Speaking today with somebody who's not necessarily in Foxborough, but as we know, we love our regional appeal, and we always like to meet people who are making a difference in our greater community, and these are one of those people. I'm meeting with Sarah Bodega. How are you doing today?
Great, thank
Sarah,
you so much.
Sarah, it's great to meet you, and now everybody's meeting you here in Foxborough.
Wonderful.
So tell us, what is it that you do, and what is it that you want us to know?
Great. Well, I am one of the co-founders, and I'm the executive director of Rise Above Foundation.
Okay.
We are a nonprofit organization that serves all of Massachusetts, and our focus is on youth that are in the foster care system.
Aha, so this is not a government organization, though.
It's not.
So you're working to support people how? By taking them to baseball games, by buying them clothes? What's the...
Yeah, so we are filling the need for funding for youth to participate in those kinds of activities. So we help pay for sports, music, summer camp, really anything that they want to do.
Really?
And are missing out on because there's no funds for
That's
it.
fantastic. And now you're based out of what town?
We actually don't have an office.
Okay.
Virtual.
So you're real, when we say regional, you really are regional. So
That's
Foxborough is within your service area, so to speak?
Yes. Yeah, we're serving every city and town in the state.
And the organization is called Rise Above, and you've been around since what year?
2009.
2009, so definitely have a track record of success, I imagine.
Yes.
And you have a website, it is weriseabove.org. So that's a very interesting name. I love the name. And how did you come up with Rise Above? What was the dream back in the day? You say you and a co-founder, so there's another person.
Yeah, two co-founders that at the time were social workers for the state, for the Department of Children and Families. And it was really their vision and something that they saw based on the kids and families that they were working with, that they were missing out on these activities. They weren't able to go on field trips with their classmates. They weren't able to join the basketball team.
You know, it's interesting because there's a stigma being in foster care anyway, and then to pile on with not having the resources and the funding because the state does not fund those things, I gather.
Right. Yeah, I mean, for kids that are in foster care, they've been most likely victims of abuse or neglect, and so... Or
had something traumatic that would rip them away from their home.
Right,
certainly.
or even the added trauma of then being in foster care and living with different families, having to go to a new school, make new friends.
Fitting in is something that we all remember, not being the easiest thing to do no matter where we were or who we are, and to have that going against you, that's tough. Exactly. So this helps a little bit.
Yeah, so being able to join the band,
yes.
Having a sense of belonging and form a sense of identity is critical for all kids, but especially for kids in foster care.
I see. And so the organization is reaching out, looking for people to support it. It's private, so you're looking for donations. Do you hold major fundraisers, or is it all through foundations, individuals? What's your funding source?
We're all privately funded, so about half individual donations and half foundation corporate gifts. Yeah.
And you are 501c3 registered, so these are tax-deductible donations.
Yes.
Fantastic. Yes. And if I wanted to donate, or if I wanted to share with the folks here in Foxborough how to donate, it would be to go to weriseabove.org. Now, it's a virtual office, but it is an office nonetheless.
Yes.
And I know we know how to get a hold of you. We can reach out to you by email, to reach out to Sarah Bodega. And by the way, as the executive director, do you have a ton of overhead, a ton of staff? Are you supporting a major building in Boston? What's the overhead rate on this? What are we talking about here?
Certainly not a lot of expenses because we are a staff of about 1.5.
Okay. So the money is really going to the right cause, to the right place.
Yeah, most of it's going directly to fund those activities.
Okay.
And this year we're going to serve about 1,000 kids across the state.
That's impressive. Yeah. So to reach out to you individually and to learn more, you can go to info@weriseabove.org, info@weriseabove.org, or you can call them at their office at 855-246-8850. So riseabove.org, Rise Above, is an organization, but I love talking to people about nonprofits because all the nonprofits have a cause and have a reason. But it sounds as though this one is filling a specific need that is not part of the state foster care funding mechanism and likely never will be. So how do you get your referrals? How do you work with social services? Since you're former social workers who started this, I assume there has to be some synergy or some communication. I mean, how do you find out about these kids in need?
Yeah, we work really closely with DCF, the Department of Children and Families, and private agencies that work with kids in foster care. Foster parents or social workers, or actually anyone that knows a child in foster care, a neighbor, a teacher, can fill out a request on our website. And we check in with the state social worker if they're not the one that applied. But then, then we make a payment directly to the provider of the activity.
Really?
So we would, basically pay the karate studio, for example, for
Excellent.
3 or 6 months of lessons for a child.
So then the foster child has that opportunity and doesn't have to worry about too many hoops to jump through.
That's right, yeah.
Fantastic. And I guess, always the flip side of any do good is, what are some of the challenges that you're experiencing right now? What is it that maybe we should know about or can help with?
Sure. The number of youth in foster care is not decreasing right now. There are about 10,000 across the state.
And you have a client base of 1,000, more or less, that you're going to help this year?
Yeah, we're serving about 10%.
That's an incredible number considering where you're at as a private group. And congratulations on that.
Thank you. Yeah,
that's quite an
we're
outreach.
Pretty proud of that. We've served 3,000 total in almost 10 years, so we're growing pretty rapidly. And we're really committed to getting to 10,000, being able to serve every kid every year, as many times as they want.
That's
that would
amazing.
be our ultimate goal.
Well, congratulations on that. What a great cause.
Thanks.
So, folks at home, is there a minimum amount of money that people can donate, or is it something where whatever we can do, we should do?
Yeah, of course. There's no minimum. We are funding requests from $30 for a baseball glove to $1,000 to help a youth. We just had a teen, she's in college actually, go to Guatemala on a trip with her nursing major.
Really?
Yeah. So it's an expensive trip.
But
an incredible opportunity.
Be a great return on
Absolutely. That. Yeah. She's already back and just had wonderful, words of gratitude to us. And
how great is it when you have a success story? We have a child in foster care where obviously the world has not gone the way that you would like to think it would, and then they make it on to college and are able to get the nursing degree. That's got to be rewarding. Oh,
it's amazing, right? To turn their wish to us, and it's really a very selfless choice that they've made to do that. So
fantastic.
Yeah, we're so proud of her.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I'm here with Sandra Baldega, and she is asking you to be aware of Rise Above, and with that awareness, hopefully there'll be an opportunity to see it in your heart to include them in your annual giving. They're tax deductible. It's a 501c3 registered organization. WeRiseAbove.org is where you can go to find out all the information. They're also on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. So be their friend, and they'll be your friend, and you can follow them and find out all the good works that they're doing. So, Sarah, as and we get to the point of the program where I'm going to give you the last word, but are there any fun stories that you can share? I don't know if fun is necessarily the word, but any stories that you can share where really show the impact of a donation?
Yeah, sure. We get to hear about them every day, and so it's hard to pick one. To pick a favorite. We get...
It's like all the people I know, who's your favorite? They're all my favorites. So don't take the question that way. I'm saying, give me a couple of highlights.
One of my favorites that we got early on was from a girl, Selena, who was a junior in high school at the time, and she asked us for funds for prom dress. Okay. She had actually, she was a senior, because for her junior prom, she had given a secondhand dress, and she was really grateful for that, but she really wanted the opportunity to go shopping with her friends and have that experience of trying on dresses.
Do the normal thing.
Yeah, do a normal teenage thing. So we gave her money for that, and she wrote back this beautiful letter about how the night of her prom, felt beautiful and felt that she was standing out. And this time, for a good reason, not because she was the foster kid, but because she was beautiful. So
that's great.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites, and I think that's what we've done 1,000 times this year.
Really?
Moments like that.
That's fantastic. So, in thinking about the kid who bought a baseball glove for, it's so simple, but at the same time, it's so important because if you don't go out for a team with the same equipment, or at least equipment that makes you not stand out, then you are exactly that. You're the foster kid. You're not just the baseball player. And I think at that age, most of us want to be just that person, just the baseball player.
That's right. Yeah.
How great.
Yeah. And $30 doesn't seem like a lot, but for a lot of foster families, it is.
It is a lot.
Foster families are given an average of $25 a day. It's like $700 or $800 a month to take care of all of a child's needs: their clothing, food. Contribute to the expenses of the household. So there's not a lot left over for these kind of activities.
Well, anybody who's raised children of their own know that, and for people who put themselves out there to be foster parents, it's a challenge and a reward. But to help out with the finances, that's always a nice benefit when they're able to find it. So good for you, and good for Rise Above to be able to be that organization. So Rise Above is a nonprofit organization looking for your support, looking for your charitable contribution. If you have it in your pocketbook and in your budget to do that, you can reach out to them at weriseabove.org. And Sarah, I'm going to give you the last word in a second. Just going to go through your information again on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. You can reach out to Sarah at info@weriseabove.org, or reach out by telephone at 855-246-8850. And this very nice card that you have just gives a great idea of what it is that we do for the foster kids, for the kids who might need some added support. So I suppose the last word is, tell us what we can do to help.
Sure. I think help spread the word about our organization if you know people that work with children in foster care, or if you know a child yourself. And then you need your support to keep going. As I mentioned, we're completely privately funded, and it takes a lot of people to make this happen and give these kids a happy childhood.
That's great. Well, I guess a happy childhood is what we're all wanting for our families, and for those who are in foster care. What a greater outcome could there be than have a happy childhood when there's a lot of challenges facing them, and so you're making it a little bit easier.
That's right. Thank you.
Congratulations, Sarah Bodega, on
you.
doing that, and thank you so much, everybody listening, for hearing about Rise Above, and we hope you're able to make a difference yourself and support them. We here at Foxborough Cable Access are happy to bring these programs to you. We do it only through the support of our volunteers. If you want to volunteer for Foxborough Cable Access, we'd love to have you come down and visit us at 28 Central Street. That's our studios. That's where we're at right now, here in beautiful downtown Foxborough, Massachusetts. Come in the front door. Marg will greet you and share with you how you can become part of our family. My family here at Foxborough Cable Access is with Mike Stewart, Deb Thors, and Betty Travers behind the cameras. Lauren Batar, who does the programming for us. Mike Weber, our executive director, and Paul Beck, who sits behind the glass to make sure that we're all looking good for you. And our newest member is our editor, Mrs. Sharfin, Taylor Sharfin. So we want to thank everybody for being with us, and we hope you have a great day, Foxborough. Take care.